Hello, it's another Natives podcast, and I'm Harry MacArthur, and I'm here with Bob Thornton, and I have two special guests and special people that I've known for a lot of years as customers, and I've been absolutely amazed by this story, and so I'm so happy that they agreed to share it, because it needs to be shared, because events aren't special, and I'm going to apologize already because I'm going to cry. And this is a story with Mary and Kelly, and it's Kelly's story, and it's Tim and Mary's story too. And it is a magic of great parents and great support and everything else, and God's blessing. And I'm going to turn it over to Bob because I have a short attention span that I just go. So Bob's going to take it over, and Mary and Kelly.
So Mary and Tim are mom and dad, and Kelly is their daughter. And maybe, Mary, you could share with us a little bit about early years and life and where you were at and
how we got here today.
How we got here today.
Yes.
Okay. We went for a family boat ride back in June of '89. And it was Kelly, who was 21 months. 21 months. Mm-hmm. And my son, he was 3 at the time, as if that's right. I'm not sure if they're close. They're 21 months apart. And we all got in the boat, put the life jackets on the kids. And we started out for a nice ride on the Intercoastal outside of my in-laws' house. And we were cruising down the Intercoastal, and all of a sudden, something happened with the steering. And so the boat went this way out of my husband's grip, and Kelly was sitting on my lap at the time, and she went this way out of the boat. And the boat was spinning in a 360 degrees angle, and the propeller ran over her leg. She was in the water. So my husband jumped out of the boat and grabbed Kelly, put her on the front of the boat, and we noticed at that time that the propeller had run over her leg. And so she wasn't breathing, and we put her, as I say, on the front of the boat and gave her CPR, and she came to, and we tourniqueted her leg above the injury. And so where we were at the time was, like I said, on the Intercoastal, but there was people on the side where I hollered, call 911. And so at that point, my husband went to start the boat to get us to the side. The boat wouldn't start. So we ended up, he jumped in the water, grabbed the rope from the front of the boat and pulled us it was a smaller boat, but he pulled us to the side where we, at that point, the ambulance was there waiting for us. And so they immediately took Kelly to the nearest hospital, which was not far away. And then from there, it kind of just, it went all downhill from there. We got to the hospital. The doctors told us that they wouldn't be able to save her leg. They'd have to amputate her leg, because what had happened when the propeller ran over her leg, it severed the popliteal artery, which is the main artery to your heart. So what they ended up doing, we had a heart surgeon there who just happened to be there at the right time.
Just happened,
exactly. Somebody's looking out for us. He was there, and he took a. They told us that she was going to have her leg amputated, which I said, and then after that they said we're going to try to save it. So they took from the other leg, they took a saphenous vein, and they were able to connect it to the popliteal artery that severed, and they were able to save her leg. Yeah. So we were lucky, very lucky. They were able to save her leg, and then they had the plastic surgeon come in to, kind of clean it up a lot. And from then, oh gosh, it was so long ago. I have to take my time and think about this. We ended up, I think it was 24 hours later, after the surgery from her leg, with the transfer of the artery, she ended up having a stroke. So she had a major stroke in the brain, and from all the blood loss. And that was where it kind of kept getting worse. She just had a stroke. She, coded several times. And on that day, it was my 31st birthday. So it was kind of one of those things you don't forget. But, we had the priest come in because they told us she wouldn't make it. So we had the priest come in for last rites. And, by the grace of God, she made it. And it was, just millimeter by millimeter. It was every day. It was from then on, it was just, if she makes it, she's not going to be normal, and it went from one day to the next. And she just ended up to being where we were able to transfer her to St. Mary's Hospital. They were waiting for her to be stabilized so they could transfer her to St. Mary's, where it was a trauma hospital for pediatrics. So we were able to transfer her. I believe it was after 5 days. And she got to St. Mary's Hospital, and it was just a total slow recovery, although they told us she probably wouldn't recover, and if she did, she would not, like I said, not be normal. She would be retarded, is what the word they used for me, the neurosurgeon.
They used that word with me as well.
They did. So. Did they?
Oh, well.
How much blood did they have to give her?
Oh, Harry, I can't remember. It was so much blood. I can't even give you a volume of blood because I can't remember. It was a lot. That's why she stroked.
Yep.
So, and it was in the eye center where she stroked, in the occipital lobe, they call it. So it was right over her eye center. So she was blind. When she did come out she was in a coma with all the blood loss. And then she ended up coming out of the coma very, very slowly, very slowly. And she was able to smile at me. There was a point she was able to smile at me, and it was just incredible because I remember looking at her, but she couldn't see me, and I know she couldn't see me. So we had to wait, then after that, she was stabilized and she was doing okay at the time. In the meantime, she had to have her stomach tied so she wouldn't throw up in the coma and aspirate, and go into her lungs. Death. Exactly. Yeah. So what they did a fundoplication, which is they cut her from one end to the other. Back then is what they did.
And she's less than 2 years old.
Yes, exactly. And they tied her stomach so she wouldn't throw up. So what happened after that was after she had bowel obstruction after bowel obstruction because of all the scar tissue that accumulated with this first not the main surgery, the surgery to tie the stomach. So she ended up having so much scar tissue. She ended up having 13 bowel obstructions, 11 of which required surgery.
Wow.
So in between all that, we're talking, months at a time. So once she finally was stabilized with all that, we took her to a rehab center in Fort Lauderdale where they specialized in pediatric comatose patients. And when we got there, she was unable to see at the time. When we got there, they told us what happens usually with that. It's the blood that is obscuring the vision, where she stroked. So as that absorbs, which it did, but a little at a time again, it absorbed and she was able to see a small amount at a time. And so eventually after, I think it was maybe 7 months, she was able to see okay. And we were able to take her home after 7 months of that. And she, by the grace of God, she's still here, but it didn't stop there. It went from after she got home, we've noticed after, I believe she was 5 years old, and my husband and I noticed her leg was growing at an angle from the knee down. It was growing out. So we thought, something's wrong. Let's address that, which we did. And we ended up at Shriners Hospital, where they had to break her leg in order to straighten it. So they broke her leg and they put what's called external fixator on it. And we also had to lengthen it at the same time. So they straightened her leg, and then they put this apparatus on it where you turn these little thingamajigs every day. And
like
it
3 times a day.
Yeah, four times a day.
4
How I
times.
remember that, I don't know, Harry. But we were able to lengthen that leg, and we were able to come home after 3 months. We lived at Shriners for 3 months in
3
Tampa.
months.
Yeah.
3 months. It was another birthday I went through at Shriners. Oh, I said I had some hellacious birthdays, but we're here today. So,
Yeah.
Shriners was great. That was one of the greatest hospitals we've ever been to. So when we came home, all was great. Actually, let me jump back. Before we came home, when we went in for that surgery on her leg to straighten it, she ended up, after she had it straightened, she had a bowel obstruction again. So we ended up going from Shriners to Tampa General, and they had to do surgery on that where she had many complications with that, but we ended up back at Shriners and, did our thing and then came home after that and had a couple of more lengthening surgeries, correct? And then we ended up, I don't know the timeline of this, but I do remember in between all this, there was surgeries going on. I just can't remember every single one of them. If I can read my cheat sheet here.
So you went from Shriners to Tampa General, Tampa General back to Shriners.
Yes.
All that in that 3-month span.
Yes.
So you are just living out
In hospitals.
in the hospital from
Yes.
one. I mean, the hospitals knew who you were.
They did.
They
did.
So how old is Kelly now at that time?
She is, I'm getting
6, maybe.
six-ish, 7, I
Wow.
think so. My timeline's not good at this point because there's so many things that I have skipped because I can't remember.
Well, and but that's what the mind does,
Right.
Because you're trying to do it.
Exactly. I'm you're trying to, you go from one to the next to the next to the next. It's just and the only way I got through it is the grace of God. I used to go home every night. Well, this was early on in the hospital. I would go home. My mom was living with us at the time, so I was thankful for that because she took care of my son. He was a little guy too.
I forgot about.
Yeah, and Timmy, that's my son's name is
Yeah,
Timmy.
Timmy.
He was with my mom, and all was good there because I was gone most of the time, with Kelly.
So he would have been 8. So he would have been in school.
Yes, yes.
So she was taking him to school and
Yes.
feeding him and everything else.
Yes, and my
it-
mother-in-law as well. My mother-in-law is another angel in my life, and so are my sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws. I have a lot of them. My husband is one of 13.
Wow.
So, yeah, all those prayers.
Tim. Oh my.
I love my sister-in-laws and brother-in-laws. I do. I love them all.
That's awesome.
I couldn't live without them. They're always there they were always there throughout Kelly's ordeal. So,
So where did this all transpire? Where did the
Palm Beach
accident?
Gardens. What Kelly and I do now is we walk every day 5 miles. That's our every day. 7 days a week. And we have a church that we actually are parishioners of, but we walk around their parking lot because it's a 10-mile trek.
Wow.
And
That's a big church.
it's a big.
it
Is
is.
it 10 or 5?
I think it's 10.
Is it 10? Okay, so what did I just say? 10 miles?
No, you said 5.
5.
Oh, okay. So we do the 5 miles. It's on every day, and I go in and I light my candles every day, and thank God, every I got a lot of candles I light, a lot of candles. But so anyway, we'll get back to
Shriners.
where I was at Shriners. After Shriners, we ended up going, everything was good. Kelly's back in school. My son's back. Well, my son's always been in school, and all is well. And so at the very end of all, Kelly turned 21, were you, when you had the last lengthening?
23.
23. Okay, Kelly was 23. We had her last leg lengthening surgery. That was the most painful of all,
Oh yeah.
wasn't it?
Mhm.
It was the most painful of all.
It was.
And he put on the external fixator again.
Where was that done at?
That was here. That was
Okay.
at St. Mary's Hospital.
Okay.
And there's a special doctor, great doctor, and he's the one who performed the surgery. Where were we again?
Last like
20.
The last
Lengthening.
lengthening. You were 21.
23.
23, I'm sorry. Kelly was 23. She went to a leg lengthening doctor. He's the only one in the county, and everyone probably knows who he is. It's St. Mary's Hospital. And they did the last leg lengthening that she needed for the rest of her life because they figured out how tall she was going to be and, did all the measurements.
How much did they have to lengthen it?
It was about that much.
That's
Like
a lot.
an inch and a half?
Well, a little more than that. Yeah, about
2 inches?
Yeah.
Oh, that was painful.
So all the way
It
through
was.
her life, as she grew, her leg didn't grow. So
Right.
they had to continually.
Yes.
Wow.
And she wore a heel that the orthopedic people at Shriners always. We went back to Shriners a million times, and they always put a heel lift.
A lift.
A lift. And she had that until she had this last surgery, and the last surgery ended up being almost a year. It was supposed to be maybe just how many months was it supposed to be originally?
I don't even know.
I can't
don't
remember. But it wasn't supposed to be a year, but she ended up
Too
having an
long.
infection because her leg didn't grow. So they couldn't figure out why the leg wouldn't grow. Well, what happened was she had an infection in the leg and she had osteomyelitis, which is a major, leg infection, bone infection. And that was a rough one because it was so
Well-
painful.
Well, that's eating up bone too.
Yes,
that you're
it is.
trying to grow,
Yes, it
It
is.
is,
which is,
Right.
Exactly.
Check out the big brain on Harry.
He looks pretty good though.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now when we have that infection, how much did that set us back? I mean, as far as
A year.
but that's another surgery to try to get the infection out.
Yes.
And the antibiotics.
Exactly.
Right.
And I mean, did they had to change the antibiotics once or twice to try to get the infection out, or did it?
Yes.
Yeah. See, because
We ended up after a week of figuring out that she ended up having this big infection. We were able to go home, and we had her on gentamicin, I believe, and we did it at home. She had a
Infusion.
infusion every day, and she had a PICC line. So we came home from the hospital with a PICC line and infused the gentamicin, and that did clear up after a while. And then once it did. They ended up putting this external fixator again on there, but it was huge. It was huge. When I saw her after surgery, I almost fainted because I thought, how are you going to deal with this and walk with this? Well, she did.
I did.
She did. She took the dog for a walk down the street, and it's
Didn't
like,
bother me.
I looked at her and I thought, oh my gosh, how thank you God once again, thank you God, and. So we ended up, that was clear. So she was able to grow after that infection cleared up. The leg started to grow. Then we got to be to where we were supposed to be, lengthwise. And you were set after that, right? We had your last surgery
2015. I got
May
everything
So
of
you
out.
were 24?
2015.
When I was done.
You were 23 when you
Yes.
went in,
So
24 when
24.
you finished.
You're
Okay.
right. Yeah.
And I
Okay.
think that was the last of the surgeries. It ended up being from head to toe. From the start of the accident, it's been 65 surgeries.
Wow.
And in between, we were finished with that. And then we kind of had another blow to our life where I got a phone call and my son, it was a very good friend of my son, and he was living in Louisiana at the time. He was going to work. He was working with a construction company, and he was going down the road, and then somebody from the opposite side crossed over the lanes, and they had a head-on collision, and he ended up passing away. He passed away immediately, and the other 2 people that were in the accident as well also passed away. So there was 3 people that died in that accident, and unfortunately, one of them was my son. So
How old was Timmy?
Timmy was 31.
31.
He was 31, and he wasn't supposed to go.
No, definitely not.
He wasn't supposed to. It wasn't his time. It wasn't his time. But God wanted him. God wanted him, and so I know where he's at.
Yep.
Every day I talk to him. I light him a candle at church, and I know where he's at. He's
Yep.
so much better off than we are
Yep.
right now.
Yep.
And we're all, we know where he's at.
Yeah.
So I think right now at this point in our lives, we're living pretty much. Now that we know, Timmy's, that was 2017 when he passed away,
Yep.
and we're kind of just knowing he's there, and we're here, and we'll see him again.
Yep.
We'll see him again. When, I don't know, but we'll see him again.
And Kelly, were you close with Timmy?
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah.
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 Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Wow.
I need
Wow.
my tissue.
Oh, that's
Yes.
She's strong as an ox. It's just.
Yep. Well, 65 surgeries when you
Yeah.
get beat that many
I
times.
know.
And
I
you
know.
know,
Starting before memory,
and
so it's
pick lines.
just been a part of your life.
It has. It has.
And have you ever been like, why me? Or is it just like, this is just,
Just go with it.
you just go with
I
it?
can't do anything about it. Just
Yeah.
go with it.
Well, you have a great disposition. It's pretty impressive, because that's a butt beating right there, over and over. And, tying her stomach and stuff, you're like, did that stuff help her, or did it hurt her in the long run?
It actually, we don't know yet. She's. I know you don't want to have children because you're.
No, I don't.
Kelly does not want to have
No.
children. It because of so much that went on. But I'm not sure if it hurt the reproductive system, which I don't know. That's just.
I mean, I don't
you can
mind
do what
if
you
it-
want to do, But
Wow.
she's got the best of the best has happened to me, other than my son leaving us.
Yes.
And she's just the light of my life. Her and my husband. I mean, that we live for just each other.
Oh, that's great.
At this point, we live for each other, and I'm blessed in many ways. My son's up above, and he's here.
Yeah, he's
here.
with you.
He definitely is, and I believe that. I believe he's with me. He's with us.
You feel them some days, I'm
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
Always.
Always.
Always. I have a little story to tell you where there's so many stories, because at that point, when after my son passed, I lost my both brothers as well. And my brother Joe, he was 68, and he ended up having leukemia, and he passed as well. And he told me one day before he passed, we were talking, and he says, the doctors only told me I had half a heart that was working. And I thought, oh my gosh, and it was a, whole big deal. And so he did pass. He knew he was going to pass. And so we're walking on our walk that we walk every day. And Kelly says, Mom, look up. And I looked up, and I saw, and I'm not kidding you, I saw this.
It was a full heart.
It was a full heart of clouds in the sky.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my gosh, if that isn't my brother right there telling me, he's
okay.
back. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's back. He has his full heart back and spirit. So, God works in such mysterious ways.
That's, people would say, oh, that was a coincidence, but
No, I don't
no,
believe in
I
coincidence.
listen, when my sister Janie passed, Janie loved Osprey. She lived up on Cape Cod, and she would always take pictures, and she passed. Sorry. And I went out to walk the beach, which I do in the morning, and say my prayers. And this Osprey followed me all the way down 3 miles on the beach, stayed right over my head, circling the whole time.
serious?
So wait, it gets better, it gets happy. So
Wow.
So I'm like, all right, sister, I see you. I know you're with me. I turn to walk back. It's a clear day. There's no clouds. Everybody's at the beach. They're in their swimsuits and stuff. I'm doing my thing. I'm walking down. I don't know why I go like this and I say my prayers. I have no idea why I do this, but I do. And
I do.
And I'm walking down and I go through the whole thing. And I turn and all of a sudden this cloud appears over my head. It's just a small cloud and it starts to rain. And I was like, really, Janie? Really? And it followed me all the way to my truck. I'm walking down the beach, soaking wet, and people are in their bathing suits. And I get to my truck, and I put my hand on the door handle, and the cloud just dissipates.
Oh, wow.
And I laughed and I wrote it all out for because there were 6 of us. I wrote it out for my other siblings, and I told them the whole story. It's like, and I knew, and Janie, I have 4 sisters, no offense to anybody in my family, but Janie and I were closest in age, and she was the brains and I was the brawn. She was a little bit older than me, and she'd say, I have an idea. And I was the knucklehead that would make it happen, right? So I was like, that was Janie saying goodbye.
Funny?
Isn't it funny?
Oh, you know what? That's not a coincidence.
No. And you can say whatever you want, but I lived it. I walked it. It was like, nope, and I wrote it out and I sent it, and all my siblings were like, that is Janie. And that's
so
what she would have done.
funny.
She got me in so much trouble. God rest her soul. She did. She was.
How old was Janie?
Janie was about maybe a year and a half older than me.
Okay.
So.
Okay. There's a song about her. Janie's got a gun.
Yeah, that was Janie. Listen, Janie was as wild as the day was long. I think she was pronounced dead 4 different times in her life.
God.
Like she struggled with drugs. She saved my life because I never got into that stuff because I was like, if she could go that way, I could go that way. And it always kept me on the straight and narrow. And yeah, she was great. She had 5 kids, a bunch of grandchildren.
Wow.
And
that's incredible.
But she got her life straightened out. She died clean and sober.
What a great story.
Yeah, it was. But there's no coincidences. You know?
No.
The fact that you're here, Kelly, is not a coincidence. Mm-hmm. You know, and I love your spirit that you've never questioned. You're just like, this is just my life.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Are you working?
I'm not working at the moment.
Are you? And you're with mom and dad. You live with mom and dad, and you're best friends. I can see that.
Yes.
Yeah, it's incredible.
She don't have to work.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, you're allowed to say that. You don't have to work. You know what? Your whole life has been work.
Right. What I was going to say.
That's exactly what I think as well, because we've been through so much. You've been through so much.
Yeah.
So have you and Dad.
Oh, I know. But we've done it all together, and we've been so close this whole time, and it's like, you know what, we're enjoying life right now as much as we can. That's why we come to Harry's every Saturday, because we can.
Yep.
And it's,
we thank you.
You know, it's so enjoyable. It's so enjoyable. No. We do everything there is to do, but it's pretty much together. I mean,
yes.
It's just, you know, God's brought me here for her.
Yep.
And
vice versa.
And vice versa.
And vice versa. It's a partnership.
It really is.
And it shows, right?
Yes,
I mean,
absolutely.
we can see it. We can see the love.
Oh, yeah.
Both ways.
I'm thankful.
It's incredible. It really is. And Timmy's up there. He's probably your guardian angel there. Right?
He that's for sure. He's my guardian angel.
And now, I know you probably told me this before, but did you and Tim go to school together, and how'd you meet?
No, we didn't. I was actually, originally, I'm from Boston, and I moved here to Florida, which Sarasota on the other coast, when I was 11. So I did my schooling over there and graduated, and then my parents were separated at the time. My mom was waiting for me to get out of school to separate from my dad. Amazing how that happens. Wow. But she says, I'm moving over to West Palm with Gail, who's my sister. And I said, that's fine, Mom, you know, but I was only 17. So I'm like, is it fine? Maybe not, because where's my life going from here? So I ended up moving with my mom and over here, and we had an apartment together. We worked together. and kind of just, made life. And then one day I met Tim. And
How'd you meet him?
At a
Where?
bar.
Oh, okay.
I did.
Okay.
I think
But it wasn't
big-
Harry's.
It wasn't Harry's. But it wasn't Harry's. But I did, we did meet at a bar at Big Daddy's.
Big Daddy's,
back
yeah.
in the day.
Yep.
And
Okeechobee Road, or
yes,
Yep.
yes. So I said, you know what? We just knew,
Yeah.
he's the one, and I guess I'm still his one after
Yep.
45 years.
Yes.
And we married in 1980, and we waited 5 years to have kids. There wasn't any reason
Right.
to it, we just waited 5 years, and then because I wasn't ready, I was only 22 when I got married, Harry.
Oh.
So I was a kid, So I thought I don't have kids. Tim did because
Yep.
he's one of 13.
Yep.
But I didn't because I thought I don't know how to raise a kid. I'm a kid.
Yep.
And after 5 years, that kid thing kind of went out, and I got pregnant with Timmy, and that's when our life pretty much started as adults.
Yeah.
So
All of a sudden you grew up.
I grew up. Can you believe that? I grew up, and here I am.
And
I'm still a big girl.
You're a big girl.
I am. I feel like a big girl. Yeah, I just had my last birthday not long ago, and I thought, you know what?
So did I.
And so did you.
So did you.
She worries
how
about
close
her
is your birthdays?
30 years.
No.
No, hers is June. Mine's October.
Oh, that was perfect. Oh, that was perfect. Oh,
So you just had your birthday?
I did.
Happy late birthday.
Thank you.
yes. Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Thanks, Harry.
So you're 30 days, 2 months, 3 months, or just 30 years?
30
Just
years.
30 years is all I see.
just,
Oh, that's funny.
just,
You know how time just
yeah,
flies
just keep
by.
that clock spinning.
Exactly.
Oh my goodness, is that funny? Oh, I love it. Oh, I love it. Oh,
Oh gosh.
too fun.
Oh,
Too fun.
Harry, we've known you for
A,
Forever.
a long time.
the
Oh,
the
yeah.
early 80s.
Yeah, see, when I was young and fun.
You still
That-
are.
Now I'm a grumpy
you,
old
see
man.
That
Still
she's,
are.
you still
See,
are.
I'm a grumpy old man.
No, you're not.
I mean,
No, your son.
I'm my dad now. I'll tell you what, that's what I am.
Oh, isn't that funny?
Yeah. I look in the mirror, I just see my father. I
You
go,
you
"Oh
are your
my
father,
God."
actually. So is my husband's his father.
Yeah,
Is
he
he?
is. He is.
Absolutely.
Is he?
It's
Yeah.
kind of like you and your
Yeah.
father. You know how you see that?
Yeah.
He's the same way. Exactly. He looks like him. He acts like him. He is him.
Well, every year or two,
Reincarnated.
I go in the bathroom at the house and I look in the mirror and then I start screaming. I come out and I scream and I get my hand in there and I go in there. And she goes, what? I said, get in there. And she goes, what? What? I said, look in the mirror. And she goes, what? I said, my dad's looking. And she goes, again? You know?
Every time I go in the bathroom,
Yeah.
I see my dad.
I just go, look at that old man. Ah.
I took my son to my dad's house. He was, I don't know, Daniel was probably 13 or 14 years old. And my dad's door was always unlocked, right? Different times. So we walked in, my dad wasn't home. And there was a picture of my dad when he was the same age as me. And he was holding up a striped bass. And it was this little 16-inch striped bass. Well, my son, we had a boat. We used to catch 50-pounders. So he looks at me, he goes, why did you keep such a little striped bass? And I said, Daniel, that's not me, that's Papa.
Oh, isn't
And he
that
said,
funny?
shut up. And I said, Daniel, that's Papa. That's not me. He wouldn't believe me. So we had to wait till my dad got home. And Daniel said, who is that? And my dad said, that was me. And he's like, no, it's not. And he would not believe, because I was about 6 feet taller than my dad, but I knew what I was going to look like when I was old because I had watched my dad. I was, they didn't need a test to prove that I was his son.
DNA,
either.
exactly.
And we grew up, we were very close with my mom's family. My dad's family were from New York and they were pretty wild. So we so it was my mom's family, and all of the siblings looked like my mom's family. So I'd go to these family gatherings. I'm like, nobody looks like me. And then when I was about 30 years old, 35 years old, I got an invite from my dad's side for some big event. And I went down and I opened up the door to this party, and there was a kid standing at the door looking at me, and it was like looking in a mirror. And I was like, he goes, "Oh, you're Bobby Thornton's son." And I was like, I have people. And I looked in the room and everybody looked like me. I was like, because my sisters used to say, "Well, you don't look like anyone because you're adopted." Because that's how sisters are, especially when you have three older
Especially
sisters. Oh, Janie. Janie was the best. Janie tortured all of us. She was as wild as my dad was,
Oh,
which
that's
was
too
awesome.
funny.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
too funny.
Well, that's why he had such a hard time with her, because she was so much like him. They were both
Oh, that's
so
funny.
stubborn.
Wow.
Well, he was
Button
button
heads.
heads. He was a gang leader in the Bronx. It was my dad and this kid Bates, and Bates was built like me, and my dad was built like you. You had to fight either one of them to get in the gang. No one would fight my dad because he was so brutal.
Really?
And Janie-
What year was this?
Oh, well, my dad was born
70s.
in 1926 or 27. So he grew up in the Great Depression. It was just a single mom with the kids, and he ran the streets. And he started at 16. He started working in the shipyard, working on the USS Missouri, building it. And 16 and a half, he said to my grandmother, "I want to go fight for our country." And she was like, "Come on, let's go down. I'll sign the paperwork." So when he came home from basic, and he said, "Mom, you must have been so upset." And she said, "It's the best sleep I've ever had. I knew where you were."
Going to say that.
So he did. He fought in World War II in Korea.
Oh,
and
unbelievable.
it sorted him out. So, and he came home and had 6 kids and
Wow.
a machine shop, and yeah.
And then my brother served in Vietnam.
Okay.
And I didn't mention that, but he also passed away after my first brother passed away.
A year later.
A year. Was it a year later?
year
No,
later.
3 months later.
Was it 3 months?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
3 months later. Yeah, I know. Time just,
I know.
Yeah.
I thought it was more.
stands still, doesn't it, sometimes? But it was, that was he had Agent Orange.
I would say that's what I was going to
So
ask.
many,
Yep.
so many.
And he ended up, it's called a Mac disease. There's a huge long name to it. And he passed from that. And he was 77. So.
And we did not take care of them the way we should.
Yeah, no, we still
I don't know
don't.
our vets. I don't know why
We still don't.
We should make the best health care in the country for our
Absolutely.
veterans.
You know what? I mean, I don't want to get to that point, but take care of our vets.
Yeah.
Yes.
Take care
No,
of
it's
our vets.
and what I never realized, because to me, you just go serve. That's what you do.
Exactly.
But it's less than 1% of our population has served active duty
Is that
in
what
this
it
country.
is?
Yes.
Less than
Well,
1%?
I was at this giant event, and they said, if you've served, stand up. And 3 of us in this whole room stood up, and I'm like, are you kidding
my
me?
God.
So then I Googled it, and
Yeah.
it's like less than 1% of our country
Really?
is served in the armed
That
services.
just that's not right.
No. Well, I think that's one thing that a lot of countries have, right? And I'll even go with Europe, I'll go with England. You have to serve. And I really believe we should have you either go in the Peace Corps
Or the draft.
or you go into the military and you
Right.
get boots on foreign soil, because when you leave this country, you realize how great we have it.
Absolutely.
I just went to Colombia 2 months ago, and I took 3 of my young sales guys, my 3 best, no offense to any of those sales guys, my 3 best sales guys. And we flew over there to go tour a window factory. And these kids 2 of them never even had a passport. They had to get a passport just to go. And we landed at the airport. We flew over on a $19 million private jet, which is the first time in my 150 years I ever flew in a private jet.
Oh, wow.
And they put us in 2 big SUVs, and they're driving us to the factory. And I'm watching my kids. They're not my kids, but I call them all my kids. I'm watching my kids watch the world. And they're seeing all this garbage along the roads, and all these people rooting through the garbage looking for anything they can salvage, and these houses with no windows and doors, dilapidated, that they're living in. And these kids are like, and they're looking at me and they're like, what's going on? I said, 80% of the world this is how they live. It's below the poverty level. I said, people don't realize our poor people in this country live better than kings in other parts of the world.
Isn't that amazing?
But it's
The
but
poverty.
if we don't get outside of our bubble, we never realize it. You know,
That's true.
All these protests and all of these things, go outside and get outside your comfort zone and realize how blessed we are.
Exactly.
And this is still, you know, a kid that's 12 credits short of a high school diploma can do what I did in the world. I couldn't do that anywhere else.
And look at you now, Bob.
We couldn't have this conversation in most parts of the world.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
that we can speak out.
They wouldn't let you.
No. And is it perfect? Absolutely not. But make a difference in the part of the world that you can control, which is your daily life and Seth and Harry's and mine, that the people that you bump into, the people that you see in the grocery store, the people that you interact with.
Wouldn't it be nice to turn someone around?
Yes.
You know?
And you know, will some people ridicule you or make fun of you? Why are you not wearing your neck brace?
Because I took it off because I'll tell you what, it was annoying me when
Yeah, but I don't want you to be paralyzed, brother.
Yeah, listen, I'm a week and a half away, and I'll tell you what.
Oh,
that's
Mary
it.
was
Look,
talking.
you know what happened? I complimented him.
I didn't even see him take it off.
No, I
actually
complimented him yesterday at being such a soldier and keeping with it. So
Right,
he
and
had to
now
break
take
the
it
freaking rules.
I'm keeping it straight. If you keep it straight, if I'm
You don't
going to
need it.
move it, I'm going to put it on.
Oh.
And you're how long before you can take it off?
A week and a half.
Okay,
But
you're
see,
good.
That's good.
No, do not
He's-
encourage him.
Okay, now
bad
you're
dog.
not
Bad
good.
dog.
Harry, you're not good.
He said 12 weeks, and he marked down 14. So I'm going to, you know
Oh,
what?
okay.
No, don't encourage him, Kelly. Mary, no. Bad dog.
Listen,
Well,
I'm sorry.
now I'm in trouble.
I'm sorry.
all right. If you're at home and you're listening, we want to hear your story. Just like Kelly and Mary's story, there's people out there that need to hear it. So reach out to us. We'd love to have you come in. We'll sit around our campfire
And keep the faith.
and but keep the faith.
drinks.
Keep the drinks.
And get a hold of us and let us know. We want to hear your story. We broadcast from Harry and the Natives, 72-year-old, 73-year-old.
My family's running 73 years.
73 years.
85-year-old building, 84.
There you
Oh,
go.
wow.
Where
And-
was your bedroom? Right here?
Used to be right there. That was my parents' room, and then it later turned into my room.
Oh, wow.
And now it's a big tiki hut. You can get cocktails. Kelly already attested to that.
And a podcast is in here now?
Yeah.
Yep.
And you can come upstairs and sit down with us, and we'll have fun. We'll make it comfortable. It was comfortable.
It was
It was.
absolutely
You did a
great.
terrific
It
job.
was great.
You
You,
both
all
did.
made us comfortable.
I
'cause
really
didn't
wanted. I
think you
really
said-
wanted to see Kelly cry. That didn't happen.
I know.
She doesn't
I-
cry.
I may have to give her a Charlie horse on the way out to see if I get a
Yeah.
tear out.
Adam's got the apron on, Harry's got his props. Kenneth's sticking out his tongue, just hope that.
Hello, we're recorded from Harry and the Natives restaurant in Hope Sound, Florida. It's a family restaurant. My family's run it 73 years. It's an 85-year-old restaurant, and just come and see us sometimes. Thank you. This is Bob.
And we're upstairs in the tiki hut, so you can come in, and we'd love to have you come up and tell your story. I'm with O'Donnell Impact Windows and Storm Protection, and we do, I know it sounds confusing, but we do impact windows and storm protection. And our slogan is, and please remember at O'Donnell, it's our family protecting your family. So I promise you, if you use us, we'll never embarrass you. If you refer us, we'll never embarrass you. We get the job done right. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.